Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, May 28th, 2021. Impacts for the next few days are shown here. Not really looking at any significant impacts for today, although there are some breezy winds expected across the north, but our fuels aren't critical up there, so we're not really highlighting that as an impact today. On Saturday, we will see an isolated chance of mixed wet dry thunderstorms across central Nevada into central and northeast Utah, and then on Sunday, those thunderstorms spread further east over eastern and southeast Utah. These will be isolated thunderstorms, and again, a mix of wet and dry, but something to be aware of. Yesterday was a warm and sunny day with no lightning and no precipitation. Great Basin fire activity is shown here. We're starting to see initial attack pick up with new fires in Utah and Idaho. Precipitation for the past 14 days shows above normal precipitation over mainly central and northeast Nevada and then western Wyoming as well. Central Idaho did see a fair amount of precipitation, but still not much above normal for the time of year. However, Utah and southern Nevada are still very dry compared to where they would normally be for the second half of May. ERC's values are on an upward trend across much of the geographic area, especially over southern Utah where those values are above the 80th to even the 90th percentile. And that's only going to get worse or get higher over the next couple of days and into next week as temperatures continue to rise and relative humidity remains very low. Taking a closer look at those ERCs here for northwest Utah, we can see very much above normal for the time of year in green here, tracking right along where we were this time last year actually. And further south across southwest Utah, also much above normal, above where we were this time last year and very close to those historical records for the time of year. If you kind of compare where we would normally be or when we would normally be hitting these values, normally we'd see these ERCs late June into the July, so right around the peak of fire season, and we're already experiencing those at the end of May. Satellite imagery for this morning is shown here. There is a big low over southern Canada and bringing this trough into the northern Rockies and the northern half of the Great Basin here. That is bringing increased winds to Idaho and western Wyoming. This is generally drier air in place over much of the Great Basin, with the moisture a little bit further northward in Canada. So some dry gusty winds across the north. And elsewhere, warming and dry. No high risk have been issued for today. So closer look at where that dry air really is across southern Nevada, southern Utah, single-digit relative humidities across the far south there, and then those stronger winds once again over southern and southeast Idaho and western Wyoming, and it's spreading somewhat into northern Utah today. By Saturday, there's a little bit of trailing moisture that moves through the central Great Basin, so we will see some isolated showers and thunderstorms possible across the strip over central Nevada and central Utah. Shoot for that. And again, relative humidities are pretty low, decreasing across the entire region, even across those teens. And here we can see where we're expecting precipitation. This is probably a little bit overdone on the precip, but this is the area where we're highlighting the chance for precip and some lightning for central Nevada and central and northeast Utah. On Sunday, generally dry across most of the area, although there will be some moisture over eastern Utah where we could see continuation of isolated to scattered thunderstorm activity there. Dry and warming elsewhere across the geographic area. So continued low relative humidities, especially over western and southern Great Basin. And the precip expected on Sunday is shown here. So just some isolated thunderstorms possible across a little bit of a larger area, dropping down into southeast Utah and possibly the eastern half of the Arizona Strip. 3-day precip totals are showing a little bit of that precipitation moving in Saturday across Nevada and then Sunday into Utah. On Monday, we start to see the ridge build in. for warming and drying. Winds stay light through the first part of next week, but temperatures really do begin to increase. And again, that ridge centered over California, but bringing some very warm temperatures to the Great Basin. Tuesday, Wednesday, the ridge shifts a little bit further inland. We can see temperatures in the upper 80s to near 90 in some of our northern valleys by midweek next week. Then on Thursday, we may see a bit of a shift with another trough trying to move into the Pacific Northwest, possibly bringing some wind once again. The 7-day totals just showing a little bit of that precipitation on Saturday into Sunday time frame, and then dry after that. An extended forecast from the Climate Prediction Center, putting a pretty warm expectation for temperatures over the Great Basin, and below normal precipitation over mainly the Northwest and the Northern Rockies into the Northern Great Basin. This concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.